Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, Reynor didn't look good in that last game. Okay, so let's hop into the next one here. It's gonna be Reynor in the top, and in the bottom right we've got Trigger. Prop making that entry. Design, gateway. Designer pylon. Again, 10,000 feet here. This player is probably not unhappy to play this map. Excuse me. There's a prop scout. Of course, did not go for that block. Next is cybernetic score, all the good stuff. He has one additional probe mining minerals, which is interesting. I guess it's this one, which just came back, and now he's 3 on 3 on gas. It's still interesting though, I want to say. I guess there's no further reasoning behind this. He will relocate the waypoint there and immediately joining in there. Alrighty. Speed on the way here. Probe is trying to kind of block that third area, and there we see it, a stalker. So that's one of those more rare openings. You will walk away with the stalker, which is interesting, but this means no entry into the main allowed here for any overlords. He does see, of course, the overlord positioning, so he just walks into the main, or basically says like, all right, I'm gonna walk here and I'm gonna stay here. So yeah, let's cut it short. Oh, I was thinking adept glaive, but actually with the forge, this might just be a charge lot attack. But then again, like, he has the Stalker, so yeah, maybe it's blink, and it actually is blink. Oh, this is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. I like this. This is a super fast blink into a super fast +1 with that. Now, is he going into shields? No, of course not. He will go into weapon. And this is a full wall. So you will mine this out eventually. He's playing this completely different than Showtime did there. Very interesting. The map, I mean. The matchup, of course, as well, but like, he's more really playing a strategy tailored for this map right now. He says like, alright, I don't need any units to fool around. I don't need any oracles to defend my third base, because I'm not gonna take anyone and I'm gonna not take any third base anyhow. There we go. That was a mouthful. And he's just going into that robo. He will make a prism and he will just print stalkers from 6 gateways with +1 and blink. And it's gonna hit so fast, and Reynor needs to have a Roach Warren. He needs to be ready to defend this. He might want to throw down a couple of spines. He's actually making spores because he doesn't know what it exactly is. Kind of needs to cancel those spores. You might want to keep one in case it's gonna be DTs. Yeah, he does cancel the other spore. He does have already 2 though. And you might want to throw down even some spines to deal with this, because it's gonna be a very committed Stalker blink attack here. He's finishing up the last gates here, 6 gates. He does not have the scout into the main base. And there's a lot of information down here. He's even making 1 additional gate here. 7 gate blink from Trigger. Full on committal here. Blink about to finish up in a moment. And of course, this is the moment where the warping is gonna happen here. He will try to snipe an Overlord. It's actually a nice target here. It's gonna block this for now. And he will move away with his stalkers. He makes Zealots now? What is this? He doesn't have charge, he just get blink. What is he doing? He doesn't have charge, he gets blink. Why is he's going into +2? Oh, this is puzzling. Why is he making so many Zealots? It's a slow Zealot attack? Are you fucking kidding? Sorry, are you effing kidding me? He didn't get charge. He still isn't getting it. Is this a mistake by Trigger? This could be a big mistake here. So now he goes into the blink stalkers, right? Okay, 7 stalkers. Yeah, nice and all, but it's just slow Zealots with a bunch of stalkers. So he wants to have a meat shield, I guess. I'm gonna try to snipe down these roaches, focus fire in here a lot. Where are the Zealots? They're coming in right now. So utilizing that prism as a second blink, but it's also, it is a little bit messy to say the least, because it's actually a lot of additional micro you have to do, and you can really mess that up. And of course you cannot keep it in the warp-in mode if you do that, because the Zealots, yeah, they need to go into the front here. They're kind of just sitting behind the stalkers, kind of having like tea time or something, but they're not really doing anything. He is remaking a cybernetics core for some reason and a gateway. Because he's afraid of a big all-in from those links. He doesn't want to have those links spill in. And he's saying like, alright, if you kill my wall, you can... you could kill the cybernetics core, we were just gonna remake one, but that's not helping right now. It's a lot of money that's tied up in buildings that don't need to be there. And that money, that could be a couple extra Zealots here in this fight with these links. It's very interesting. Reynor is trying his damnedest to fight the stalkers with the links, and the Zealots are trying to chase down the links while the stalkers are combating these roaches here. But maybe Reynor's roach force is starting to grow a little bit too big. We do have +2 though on those stalkers. Don't underestimate that additional firepower. And they do still have that war prism. Not going for the prism with the queens might have been a mistake here by Reynor. And we do see the focus fire on those roaches. The Osu Click professional champion here, Trigger, clicking down any units very fast, very quickly. Now it's only stalkers from here on. So the Zealots did their job. Most of the links have been depleted, and Reynor's starting to remake that link force, but he's just bleeding units. It's just not working out. The thing is, if you don't fight the army is gonna come and chase you and kill you. If you fight the army, you're gonna bleed out units. So you're gonna bleed the units anyways. Might as well just want to try to engage as good as possible here. It's very difficult because you want to mass up an army to actually get a good engage, but then you also need to be able to mass them up if they get sniped so much. It's just difficult to reinforce that group. Look at that, he's gonna lose another roach here in a moment. No, it's gonna be queen actually. Another roach, and no stalker has died in that engagement. Another queen, one stalker goes down, but you also lose a roach. Another queen. Oh man, the queens are starting to dwindle, and when you have a low queen count as a Zerg, you always know. That's like one of those moments as an observer, you will know when your Zerg is starting to really die in this engagement is when all of the queens go down. And the Stalker Ball is just not really... Yeah, it's not getting smaller. And Trigger will blink in and get the first W in this best of 3 set. Very well done by Trigger. Let's go into game number 2. That was a very aggressive opening. 2 base all in. If Trigger ever loses that army, he's dead. There's no coming back from that. In the top right, it's Reynor. In the bottom left, Trigger. Triggerino, Trigger. Is he gonna do another 2 base all in? Of course there was no oracles, there was no scouting involved from Trigger really, except for that probe. So Maybe Reynor has some room to exploit some things there. But we rarely see any Zerg all-ins that really happen before layer. You really need a Bly for that to happen. Hatchery attacks. Proxy hatches. Spinecrawler sieges. Kind of those things. He used to be the most dangerous player with a style like that. It's crazy. I wonder what he's doing these days. We kind of get another hint by the first unit this game. So we kind of need to see, is it gonna be another Stalker, is it gonna be a Zealot, is it gonna be an Adept? An Adept would be the standard. A Zealot would kind of signalize that he wants to try to harass the hatchery. But he's not making a Zealot, so yeah, no Zealot coming in. And should be an Adept. Probably a Stargate, maybe. Maybe he's gonna go into another fast Twilight. Maybe it's gonna be Adept printed this time. Maybe it's gonna be a Charged all-in this time. The Charged all-in is really stagnant though. It's like hard to defend, but if you ever get the snowball pushed back as the defender, then the Charged all-in is dead. It's like there's no way out of this. A Blink all-in, it's difficult to say it has a transition point, but you saw all that damage he did after, like, he kills the third base and he just walks back from that point. He can play a game. There's no tech advantage for Reynor, there's no economic advantage for Reynor, and there's no army advantage for Reynor at that moment, so all of the advantages lie with Trigger, or at least the tech is kind of even. The tech is not really there for Trigger as well, but that's the moment where you can just pull back as a Protoss and say, alright, we're just gonna throw down a third base, we're gonna throw down an AoE tech, like High Templar or Colossi, whichever is fine. But you need to be on your toes because you did not open up with... He's gonna do the blink again. You did not open up with Stargate, so you don't have anything to deal with the mutas. And yeah, I want to actually say, like, a fast Spire is a really good counterplay, excuse me, to this build here, which Trigger is doing. It's just going Mass Blink Stalkers. Yeah, I guess that works against mutas decently, but honestly, why we see that Stargate, or why we used to see Stargates in the first place, is to discourage muta play from the Zerg player. Because muta play is insanely powerful, and I feel like it's so off meta at this point that people are just discarding it as a possibility, even the Zerg players themselves. And Trigger's starting to exploit that meta and going into a faster blink, saying like, you guys, you want to defend with roaches and links? Yeah, come. I'm gonna make 7 gateways, I'm gonna get a war prism, and I'm gonna just kill all of your bases because all of the stalkers with blink belong to us. Reynor is, yeah, facing the same thing again here. Can he hold it this time? We do see a lair coming up. Like a 2-base lair with fast meters. One thing how you can, or one way how you can stop this is you stop it before it ever happens in just going in like 8 meters. 5 meters might even be enough. Go in and kill one of the probe lines. Even half a probe line probably would be enough to make that investment worth, and the more you can get, the more you can force your opponent to defend. Even if he goes all in with this and says, alright, I'm gonna lose my probes, but we're just gonna come and fight, so you can have enough to win your war as well, right? So yeah, if you try to do that as the Protoss, you can just come in and kill every worker with the mutas, and then you can go back and still fight with the mutas at home, even though they're not gonna be good at fighting. But yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in that unit. So not so with the Roach, right? You have a lot of beefy defense stuff at home, but it's gonna be difficult to ever attack into a wall of Protoss buildings with roaches and punish the Protoss player for having 0 defenses. Now this time Reynor is taking this a little bit more serious. He is making a spine crawler, but again, Tourmaline is a very fast rush distance here through the middle. Spine is already being killed off. He could snipe down the Roach Warren if he starts to focus this now. Oh, those queens are kind of looking at the Overlord there a little bit clumsy by Reynor. He's trying to run links across the map, but then decides, alright, I really want to use them for a flank. There's the 3 Ravager hit squad. They're trying to kill off the War Prism. If he can snipe the Prism, sometimes that's all you need. But, oh, the Ravagers, they have been seen. So Trigger should know this is a possibility. Still though, the snipe is gonna not... Oh, it's happening actually. So if you can kill off the army now... the links coming very disjointed though, and the Stalker Ball is already very big. This is a different type. We're gonna have a quick look at the gateway count of 7 gateways, but look at that, there's no forge, there's no +1, so this even hits faster. And that's the nuance that triggered the change from the last game. And that's the adjustment Reynor didn't make. He's like, wait, you're already attacking without +1? Oh, this is way faster than I thought. You're committing so heavily, this is way faster than I thought. He still has the potential though to break this. The ball is not growing really right now, there is no War Prism here that was reinforced and is finally coming in there. But Stalkers have to walk all the way from home, and now the link flank of course can do the trick and kill off these low Stalkers that have to blunk back at home, after behind the army there. But now reinforcements coming in, War Prism coming in again, Blink on top of the army here from Reynor. Reynor chasing maybe a tiny bit too deep here, it's gonna start to bleed a lot of these Ravagers, very expensive units. Finally the Ling reinforced coming in again, and now Trigger has to run. He's very low on health on his Stalkers, it's insane. He has like a lot of red Stalkers here, oh my god. He has more red Stalkers than green Stalkers. But there we come, reinforcements from our Protoss getting into the fight. He did warp it at home, so he could keep the War Prism in mobile mode and use it for micro. And he is keeping his money low, so he's not accumulating the Bank of Zest, but he's also not trading the most perfect way in. He could still potentially overpower this, especially now with the Prism being online here. Again, the reinforcements are going to be there very fast, as you can see here. He's whooping in a couple more Stalkers, he needs another pylon, he's starting to get supply blocked here. And the army's just growing and growing and growing. 5 more Stalkers being warped in here right now by Trigger. Coming in into this fight. He does lose that observer, that stinks a little bit. Definitely wanted to keep that kind of in, not in surveillance mode, but in a unmoving state, just have it hover here, like over here or something. But this army should still just be too much for Trigger. He's just gonna break this in Reynor. He's not gonna have enough reinforcements. He's gonna bring in the drones, bring in the minerals, bring in the overlords. Let's fight this. He does snipe the Prism one more time, and he will try to overwhelm this army one more time. But I think he's just out of money. He's just $1 short. Maybe it's not just $1, maybe it's $10. The G is called, and the game has been lost for Reynor here. Trigger does take that W. I was looking at the trading in the end. That was double the trading, 6k to 12k lost resources. That was insane.